I was doing my rhetorical studies. It just passed through my system. I was just doing my rhetorical studies that coursed through my system, like the type of shit that just otherworldly people that work in an office that interact with my cerebellum and the cortex tissue on the left side of my brain. And I came up with this little skit. It's called White People. White people's cool. They did everything. White people did everything. White people did that lamp. They did that tripod. They did that mouse. They did that lighter. They did those tops. They did that Bible. They did that tobacco. They did those pills. They did that microwave. They did that coffee pot. They did that stove. They did that fan. They did that cabinet. They did that popcorn. They did that book and that book and that book and that book and that book. They did that paper, that drawing table. I'm just looking at the stuff that white people did. Like white people did all the things. And other people did things that white people did. Because for some reason on this planet there was like 7 races of people. Like you got your Africans, your Indians, your Arabs, your Asians, your Europeans, and your Latins. And your Japanese people. There's like a couple races of people on this planet. And each of us, each DNA sequence has its own inventions and explorations of the human condition that are coming to fruition. And like Africans needed the least. Like they're just catching up. They move the slowest technologically. But like their culture is like extremely powerful. Like you run into an African in the United States of America where like all the stuff they would have built has been built, and now they're left with like nothing to do. So like Africans didn't do much in Africa, and they got nothing to do with the United States of America other than like sell weed, and like that's it. And that's their business. Like Africans started the weed business. It might have been white people that discovered weed, and like when they were burning shit and inhaling the fumes to see what would be the effect, like back in the R&D phase of burning shit, like we came up with tobacco, and the latest thing we can smoke is weed, and we're still looking for stuff we can smoke, still looking for shit we can smoke. But white people did that can of Coca-Cola, that mango Arizona iced tea, that drawing pad, that trash can, that trash in the trash can, those spices, the sugar, that bed, that intercom system, that light switch, that light bulb, that chain, that air conditioner, this window, these blinds. White people did everything. And it's like when you're just sitting there and and I was born white, but I'm like a mutt white. Like my dad's like a Appalachian American who did well for himself. He came up through the medical system and worked his way up to teaching assistant, to surgical assistant and professor. He got a master's degree from the University of Cincinnati. And then I was like, yo, Pops, since you went to UC, I'm going to UC. Like I just knew I was going to UC. Like it wasn't a major decision. Long time ago. Like basically, I don't use too much of my academic experience lately, but like if I need to get a grant or something, I'll get that. And white people invented the grant. White people invented grants. White people invented scholarships, academia, hospitals, government. White people might not have invented stuff as old as hospitals and government and schools. Like Africans probably have like medical facilities in Nigeria in the desert taken care of by the Zulu Nation. Like there's probably a doctor in the Zulu Nation and a professor and a government official in the Zulu Nation. There's probably some of this behavior that Europeans exhibit is probably universal. Like basically like Europeans, they had to be more studious and they had to be more experimental to survive winter. Like, and if your weather doesn't change much, you might not have to do much. But the weather changes a lot in Europe, so the Europeans had to do a lot. Just like the weather changes a lot in Asia, so they have to do a lot. And it's sort of one of those things where like the weather is probably the biggest, like the human form is most likely a standard thing. Like it's just like you got your standard man and your standard woman. But then those are the forms. And then the weather and the society determines what those forms and what those humans are gonna be. What they look like is random chance based on like what your parents look like. You get your features from your parents. And white people created that couch and that blanket and that pillow and that comforter and that envelope and that television and that candle and that trench coat. Like white people did all that stuff. And yo, this has been my piece. This ain't a bad piece to fill 4 or 5 minutes of a show. I could probably do longer if I wanted to. Like just start. So I'm on a stage looking at an audience, and I can start. I can go into that white people invented this, like that cadence. I can go ahead. I can go ahead and do that originally from wherever I'm at. I can just look out the audience and be like, yo, glass is that glass, his tie, that bottle of beer, the bar stool. Like, I can do that. I can do that at a club, and then go into like, and then end that, and then with that part of the song, the rhetoric, go into like issues, things white people have done, why white people may have done those things, what other races have done, and like let it be a piece, like so it always works. And there's like, and it gives you, it's not a piece you memorize for verbosely, but it's a piece that you sort of get into the mindset of, and you can just riff on it. Cause like it's the riff works that are the best. Like all this, a lot of the cleanly memorized pieces. Like I could never do cleanly memorized work. I did cleanly memorized work, and it got old. Like it became a part of my system when I was a kid. I could do cleanly memorized works, but I really don't want to memorize nothing now. I can memorize like a system that'll produce a good work, and I can do that. But I can't. I really can't. I really can't do. I memorized my credit card number, and it took me 3 months. And I ain't got time to memorize like 45 minutes of dialogue word for word. I'm not going to memorize 45 minutes of music word for word, note for note. But I'll memorize movements, and I'll fill in the spaces myself. I'll just let each show be unique and different. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself that I'm impoverished. I got an apartment. I got a place to study. I'm pretty stable. I need to get to that next level of Maslow's hierarchy. Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I need to get to that next level of that. And to get to the next level of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, like to meet my next need, I need like a show to do that I get paid for, that I wow an audience, and they all feel they compensate me for entertaining them for like 5, 10, 15 minutes, and then I crowd surf and be a 40-year-old man crowd surfing, trying not to break his glasses at the Mad Frog in Cincinnati, Ohio, or something. Like it's just, I've been worried about the quality of my voice and if I can talk. And I don't think I slurred my words too much while I said this, but I have been wanting to do vocal studies and acting studies. And I'm building my YouTube channel. It's getting to the point where I can say I have a YouTube channel. I can promote my YouTube channel, my website. I can promote my Twitter account. I got too much to promote. I got too much to promote. I got too much. I need one thing I can promote. That'll probably be my website. That'll probably be my website. I think it is my website. Slushpile.github.io. Like I will uniquely advertise that website. I need some stickers and a bumper sticker. I need one bumper sticker to advertise slushpile.github.io. It's gonna be a creeper. It's gonna creep out into society. I'm gonna use creeper in a positive way. Like the culture of my website is gonna creep in on you. It's gonna be like you're gonna notice it slowly. Like you're gonna be like, wait, is that a website? Does he have a website? Could his website be the master of intentions? Like, is he trying to make money? Like, I might be trying to make money. I might be trying to make money. And white people made that wall, that ceiling, that floor. And white people made that wood. And white people made that plastic bag. And white people made that burner on the stove. And white people made that faucet handle. And white people made that bowl, and white people made that lid. White people making everything. Like I make something so I can sort of understand white people that would make things, but it's sort of like how competent are white people aren't the sexiest, but when we're sexy, we're real sexy. I think everybody gets about the same amount of sex, unless you're in a cornered off position like me. Like unless you've been like segregated from society for a long period of time, it's not too hard to meet a girl and mingle with her and take her home and canoodle. Like that's not the hardest thing in the world to do. Meet a girl and bring her back to your place. But if you're never going out, if you're buying weed instead of going to the bar, like I need to go to the bar instead of buy weed. Like on Fridays, I need to take my ass to the bar on Fridays and try to meet somebody and break up with my weed dealer and be like, look, dude, I'll buy you a couple beers, I'll buy you some smokes, but I can't buy the weed. I pay a tax to my weed dealer for ending his business. Be like, look, I'll just get you some smokes. I'll just get you some smokes. And then like when I get that $60 every week as an allowance for my folks, go to the bar and just be like order like 4 or 5 beers. And then don't drink so many beers that I stumble home. And white people develop the beer, and white people develop the bar, and white people develop the bar stool, and white people develop the LCD television, and white people develop the restaurant. Like white people did a lot of things. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, this would have been a bad monologue. But I was in a mood to do something. Consider this a Christmas present. I did something to show my life.